Welcome to episode 8, where we continue the public transport theme and move on to introduce our first train line. I'm just thinking, by having it this way, we can get a relatively good curve off this way for now. We can come out this way, and hopefully there's enough space here to sort of create a junction around this way or possibly this way. Yeah, we can go over the local. We've got the train station in, what we're going to connect to, and we've got the rail yard in. So we're going to have a couple of bridges, and I think if we extend the land out basically up until the boundary for the minute, that should give us plenty of room to have train tracks to come past. For this island, I'm thinking about having a bit of a shelf for it to run around the coastline. Hopefully we can clear under the bridge and then come up round here maybe and sort of follow this shelf what we have and basically grade from here up to here. Do you know what? I think that runs alright. There's certainly some improvements to do on these edge bits. I'd like to try and build a bit more of a bank up for little bits like here. But I mean, I think all the curves are relatively smooth. I don't think there's anything what's unnecessarily sharp. This is the bit what's concerning me though, is this line needs to come over this way to get back out, so we might have to create another junction onto the bridge possibly. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to carry this line on and have it curve round the rail yard, almost like this is the main line as such, and then the rail yard will connect onto it. because that could also come along here. I think that's going to be as clean as I can get it. I probably could have done with bringing the actual rail just a little further away from the road, but I think that'll do for now. Okay, so for connecting on, what I'm thinking is if I use the line what comes out here, right, I think I'm going to leave it at that for the junction coming out. We can feed into the industrial estate and down to the more residential area. I think all what's left to do is create our first train line, and to do that we need to create a new train station. So I think for that what I'm going to do is actually create it up here in the industrial estate, so anyone who works in the industrial estate and lives in the new area can get a train if they need to. That's the level of the track. Okay, we can lose a bit of height here. That'll be quite handy actually. We can start building a bit of height, so if we need to cross over the motorway, hopefully we won't need such a long run up. I like the idea of it passing close behind the transformer. There we go. It is time to create our first line. So we'll come from Mulberry Dale Station up to the industrial estate, and then back down again. And seeing this train's for the workers, I'm also going to drop the price down to 6. I think one train for the moment will be ideal. Let's just follow it for the first ride. This would be an ideal way just to check to make sure those turns are all pretty smooth and comfortable for the train. It all seems relatively smooth so far. It's this particular turn what I'm interested in, although there is plants growing across the track, what's not ideal. That works really well, I think. Yeah, that is a little tight. I might just try and smooth that last little bit of that turn out if I can. But apart from that, I think that's pretty good. I think that should work a little bit better. But okay, I think we'll leave it here for this episode. We've introduced our first train line. We've got plenty of room to expand out with the public transport as and when we need to. I think in the next episode we're going to have to tackle the issue with the rubbish. The landfill is now starting to get pretty full, so I think we're going to have to add some form of recycling or incineration. Fortunately, we didn't actually spend nowhere near as much money with the public transport as I thought we might have, so we've got a reasonable bit of fun still to play with. But I'll leave it here for this one, and until then, take it easy.